no funds coming from, there are no funds coming from the Office of the Vice President.
Yes, sir. No funds
Regarding
coming
this.
from them.
Kanino bang program itong sinasabi natin na Youth Leadership Summit? Is it a program of the DepEd, the Armed Forces of the Philippines? Kanino? Sino makapagsasabi sa akin?
Major General Bajao?
Bajao, sir.
Bajao?
May I be recognized, Mr. Chair?
You are recognized.
Your Honor, it's a Philippine Army-wide program, a 3-day activity po.
It's an activity included in the budget of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's one of PPAs insofar as your budget is concerned.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, when you conduct these events, you do not need the help of other agencies or the funding of other agencies.
I would
Sabi
disagree
ko
to that, Your Honor, because we can only spend for our own troops, but the need of other participants and the subject matter experts have to be carried by participating agencies po.
In this video, we'll show you DepEd under Sara Duterte'S desperate move to justify payments of rewards for so-called informants through certifications from various AFP commanders by making it appear that the agency funded those activities. But this got exposed through meticulous interpellation by Congressman Acop and Congresswoman Luistro.
DepEd has not released any single centavo to the conduct of wireless to the units mentioned, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you receive any funds from the confidential funds of the OVP in the conduct of these events?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
But in as far as you are concerned, kanya-kanyang gastos ang iba't ibang opisina.
KKP po.
And for the children, the youth, you said it is being shouldered by the LGU. Tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Colonel. May we request Lieutenant Colonel Panopio?
Colonel Panopio, you are recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor.
Colonel, I have with me another certification bearing the signature of Magtanggol Panopio. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
On this certification, you certified 205 youth students from different schools. 3 youth leadership summits held in the provinces of Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, and Zambales. You confirm this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor.
And similar to my question to Colonel Boransing and the other Lieutenant Colonel, nakalagay po sa certification nyo, to whom it may concern, to sa taas, sa baba, for the commander. Kanino po ba talaga naka-address itong certification nyo?
This is addressed to DepEd, ma'am.
Sino po sa DepEd ang kausap nyo when you submitted this certification?
Usec Mempin, ma'am.
And can you please substantiate as well the 3 youth leadership summit that you conducted in your province? Would you confirm the statement of Colonel Boransing na
Yes,
ang
Your
mga
Honor.
opisinang participants ay kanya-kanya ng gastos?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
And with respect to the participating children and students thereat, tama po ba yung sinabi ni Colonel Boransing, LGU ang sumusuporta sa expenses nila?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
Are you sure?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
While we believe that these certifications were submitted to justify the 15 million that were allegedly paid as reward to informers, now all the officers from the AFP, that includes General Mempin, the Usec for Administration, are stating that the DepEd did not utilize any of its confidential fund in support of the Youth Leadership Summit. These statements, Mr. Chair, are completely contradictory to what DepEd has made the COA believe in the submission of all these certifications. Mr. Chair, to proceed, let us all be reminded, ito pong confidential fund na ito, pera ng taong bayan. We, all of us, are accountable to the Filipino citizens. Public office is a public trust. We should be accountable to the people at all times. And I do not understand why these people who are supposed to explain the 15 million is totally unaware of the same, because they are saying that they never use the DepEd fund and what they use is the fund of the AFP. While we understand, Mr. Chair, that confidential fund by its nature is not encouraged to be scrutinized, there is nothing under the law that prohibits the same as well. There are important observations, Mr. Chair. Number one, among all civilian agencies, DepEd is one of the very few with confidential fund. Two, DepEd had this confidential fund only in 2023 and never in prior time. Three, I hope we can show also that while the DND, which has a mandate to address the national security, has 37 million confidential fund only, the Department of National Defense has 37 million. The DepEd, which mandate does not include national security, has 150 million confidential fund. Mr. Chair, to continue, while the police, the AFP officers already denied this YLS, having been supported by DepEd, 15.54 million po ang amount that the DepEd is trying to justify in making use of the certifications that were submitted by the AFP. Number 5, Mr. Chair, prior to 2016, pag ang pinag-usapan po natin ay Youth Leadership Summit, it is the AFP who leads and they just coordinate with DepEd. But on the report that was given by COA, it seems to appear that the one leading the Youth Leadership Summit is the DepEd in coordination with AFP. Paligtad po ito. Number 6, Mr. Chair, I do not want to preempt any conclusion. However, Mr. Chair, General Mempin spent 2017 to 2023 of his AFP career in Davao City and Davao region. During this time, the former president is the president and our vice president is the mayor. During those time, Mr. Chair, Davao City, while it is authorized to have and to utilize confidential fund, I believe has one of the highest confidential fund among the LGUs in the entire country. I hope the Secretariat can produce the data. I wish to ask, Mr. Chair, ito bang lahat ng ito ay coincidences? Given this observation, let us all be reminded that the leeway that is being given to confidential fund is to be able to address a very important concern, and that is national security of the country. No more, no less. The procurement and the liquidation were made liberal in recognition of the significance of the purpose of the confidential fund. However, Mr. Chair, if there are glaring indications of irregularity already, as those that we have mentioned, plus the admission of the AFP, is it not that COA should address its mandate of making sure that all receipts and all expenditures are duly accounted for the Filipino people? Question number 1, since when has irregularity in confidential fund been happening? 2, What has COA done so far with respect to its accounting rules in order to address the irregularity? And 3, will COA simply brush aside these irregularities, especially with the admission of the AFP that they were the one who spent for the 15 million Youth Leadership Summit and not the Department of Education? Let us remember, regardless of which office in the government we belong, public trust always carries accountability. To tone down the mood of our investigation at para mas maintindihan po ako ng mga tao, mayroon hong prominent na line sa pelikulang Star Wars. Ang sabi, comes with great power is great responsibility. If you translate this to constitutional language, let us all be reminded, public office is a public trust. The trust that is given to us by the people carries with it due accountability. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
General, kanina po sabi nyo, hindi nyo alam yung confidential fund. You
That's
still
correct.
confirm that?
That's correct, Your Honor, Mr.
But
Chair.
I hope you understand that the certifications which I confirm from the AFP officers, the 4 of them, pertains to the expenditure of 15 million taken from the confidential fund. And according to them, those certifications were required by you.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, actually I was asked by the Officer of the Secretary to ask for certification coming from these units. But it is clear to them or even to me that no funds are involved, meaning no funds released to these units. What the Office of the Secretary is wanted to know is the product or the result of the collaboration of various stakeholders, including DepEd, with regards to our youth. So it is clear, ma'am, that DepEd has not released any single centavo to the conduct of wireless to the units mentioned, ma'am, Your Honor.
May I ask Usec Mempin,
Yes, sir.
Usec Mempin, you are recognized.
why would
Yes,
yes, why
Yes,
would
Your Honor.
certifications be addressed to you?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as I mentioned to a while ago, I was asked by the Office of the Secretary to
By
get
the-
report from the
You were asked by the please
Office of the
repeat.
Secretary.
By the
Office of the Secretary.
may I know who that is
It's our former Chief of Staff.
and who might that be? And who might that be?
Former Usec Attorney Mike Po po, sir. Your Honor.
Usec POA. Would you agree to the answer of the Usec of Usec Mempin?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Congressman Acop, yes, I confirm that.
That you asked him to ask for the certifications from the different unit commanders of the Philippine Army?
If I may explain, Your Honor, the
Hindi,
answer is
sagutin
yes.
mo muna yung tanong ko bago ka mag-explain.
Yes
Di ba?
po. Yes po.
So, tama yung sagot sa akin ni Usec Mempin
Yes po.
na kayo po ang humingi sa kanya na humingi siya ng certification doon sa mga units ng Philippine Army na nag-conduct ng YLS.
Your Honor, if I may qualify, hindi po specifically on YLS. What I asked for was for any accomplishment. Kasi po yung ayon doon sa AOM na natanggap namin, pag nagbigay daw po ng rewards, you needed evidence of success of the information you received from the rewards. You received through the giving out of rewards. So because of this, I coordinated with Usec Mempin to to provide any proof of accomplishment para po doon sa rewards na na-disburse ng confidential funds.
Thank you. And may I ask, you have been in the Army, Usec Mempin, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Ano po ang part ng programang YLS na may kasamang rewards? Could you please tell me which part of that program would require the giving or the awarding of rewards? Which part of the program would require the gathering of information? Kasi yun po yung purpose ng confidential fund ng DepEd. 4 po yun. Now, which part of this?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, for the conduct of YLF per se, there's no in that particular any areas of that for the
Yes.
rewards, giving of rewards, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Basahin ko man ng ilang beses yung programa na yon, walang nagsasabi doon na pwedeng gamitin yung confidential fund ng isang agency. Would you agree with me?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Yes. So, Usec po, mali po yun. Kasi kitang-kita naman na natin that you ask for these documents to support your liquidation insofar as the confidential fund of the Department of Education is concerned. Kasi hindi naman kaya basically primordial na kasama doon po sa mga events na yun. And yet, you are submitting or you submitted to COA documents to support your liquidation of the confidential fund of the Department of Education. Wala Kahit na anong basa ko. Kasi, for your information, Usec POA, naging controller ako ng pulis kaya alam ko kung ano ang sinasabi nitong mga membro ng Philippine Army ngayon Alam ko rin na ginagamit nyo lang yun para i-justify yung expenditure nyo ng confidential fund ng Department of Education.
Salamat sa panonood. Huwag kalimutang mag-like, subscribe at mag-share ng video. Hanggang sa muli.